That may sound kind of silly just to stop in the middle of the road, but you know, you're out in the middle of nowhere and no other traffic around. You run into a friend and you do what's neighborly, you stop and talk. Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck at the Sheridan Clark Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So yesterday, just to kind of catch y'all up, we got news back from the USDA, Farm Service Agency, that we had been approved for that half of our loan. So we are well on our way to buying the new farm. We've got a closing date set for the end of September, and that gives us about 6 or 7 weeks to get everything packed up here and moved. A little bit of a compounding issue there is that we've got a closing date set on this farm to close here for the new owners on September the 15th. So we may be homeless for 2 weeks living out a van down by the river. But anyway, went up to the new farm yesterday, took a load of stuff up, dropped some things off. The owners up there have just been fantastic and really accommodating to let us bring some stuff and go ahead and start storing some stuff up there. So went up there to store some stuff yesterday and met with the electrician who's going to be putting us in a service for the big freezer. We got to get that wired up. But while we're up there, visited with another friend, and let me show you what we've borrowed to help us get everything moved up. So good buddy of mine, his name is Chuck, and Chuck is a farmer as well. He raises a lot of corn and rye and different things for some brewers that are in the spirit making business. Chuck let us borrow this, gosh, I think it's about a 25-foot dovetail trailer, gooseneck. So we're going to be using this to haul some of our bigger, bulkier equipment on. For example, I've already gotten our big black plastic pig feeder loaded up on there, getting ready to put the goat hut up here. The old ham house, I think is what we used to call it. We used it as a goat hut, but we're going to work on getting some of that loaded up. But yeah, so we got the trailer. Wish I had pulled the camera out when we got up to Chuck's farm last night to load this thing up. So the property that we're buying, the area that it's in up there in Wilkes County, a lot of red clay mud. We don't have much of that here. So we got to Chuck's and we opened the door. Buck had gone with us. Buck hits the ground, gets his paws covered in red clay mud, and then the inside of my truck is subsequently covered in red clay mud. But it was raining, and be frank with you, I had never hooked up a gooseneck. So we had to monkey around with that, watch a quick YouTube video to make sure we were doing it right and we weren't going to lose the trailer coming somewhere back down to the farm here in Greensboro. But all worked out good. So we're going to load up a few things here, put some stuff on the trailer, and yeah, we went up last night, dropped some stuff out, drop some stuff off, and I'll tell you about our experience here. It was really nice. So let's get some stuff put on this trailer. certainly didn't work out as planned. I had this hose up here on this pallet, tried to thread the forks in there and get it, but the problem ended up being some of the hose was caught on these old fence panels that we had laying here, and it just unraveled everything. So we'll just pull this off, and either I'll put it up there in that goat hut, or I may drop it down in the piglet box. Really doesn't matter, it's all got to go, so I may just put it in that piglet box. I think it'll be a little more secure in there. Plan C. If I pick this water hose up, and they're fairly heavy, awkward to deal with. If I pick this water hose up and put it in that box, somewhere along the way, I'm gonna have to crawl my big out of shape butt in there and get that water hose back out. So instead, we're probably just gonna lash this together, tie it up, and then put it inside the little ham house, goat hut, whatever it is, for transport. So yeah, not gonna fool with that stuff very much. So still got some space on here, and plenty more stuff to go, but I think we're about to get rained out. So still got to get eggs and put some feed on the chickens. But this trailer is really nice. The thing I love about this is how easy it is to load. Along the sides, you know, you don't have the railing or anything like that, so you can just take the tractor with the forks and you can just slide right up there and set it down, and you don't have to worry about navigating across a bunch of railings and that kind of thing. So that's really, really handy. But yeah, so Chuck let us borrow his trailer, and I told him if he can keep me in trailers and equipment, I can keep him in a lifetime supply of pork. So good to be back close to friends and family, to be able to, you know, make things work a little bit different. Isn't that a pretty sky? So that kind of brings me back to I want to talk just a little bit about our experience in going up to the new farm yesterday. And you know, if you've not heard, we're selling the farm and we're moving back to Wilkes County, which is in the foothills of the Blue Ridge, kind of between Winston-Salem and Boone, if you know where those towns are located in North Carolina. But foothills of the Blue Ridge, really close to the Blue Ridge Parkway, and that's where Sondra is originally from, and that's where I moved down there in about 2002, and I consider that home. But we went back up yesterday to take a load of stuff up, and like I said, to meet with the electrician to talk about wiring in for the freezer. And while we were there, we were just there for a couple hours yesterday, and while we were there, Sondra's dad and his brother came by and visited for a little while. The electrician that's doing the work for us is a good friend of ours, so he met us there at the property, and we were out behind one of the barns, and we all three just pulled up a chair and kind of sat there for, I guess we sat there for an hour and a half, just talking and visiting and reminiscing and talking about, you know, old times and us coming back and that kind of thing. And then I went up to Chuck's farm and got his trailer, and he wasn't at the farm whenever we were there, but as we were leaving, we met him. He was coming in as we were leaving, and so in typical country fashion, we stopped right there in the middle of the dirt road and talked out of one pickup window into the other. And gosh, I bet we sat there and talked to him for 30 minutes. But just in this short 5-hour window, maybe 6-hour window that we were up there, we saw family, we got to visit with a friend, and we got to stop on a dirt road and talk from one pickup truck to the other. And if you've never lived in the country and you've never experienced that, that may sound kind of silly just to stop in the middle of the road, but you know, you're out in the middle of nowhere and no other traffic around. You run into a friend and you do what's neighborly, you stop and talk. But anyway, it was a good time, and it really reminded us a lot about why we miss the area and why we miss being at home. And we are extremely blessed to be able to go back and care for a much bigger piece of land than what we have here, and we're excited about what the future is going to hold for us. So I think that's it. Please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your family, and we'll see you on the next video.